More on this and maybe some other things. Let's bring in Lawrence Jones, co-host of Fox and Friends. Lawrence, thank you for coming on.
Pleasure.
Would you have chosen the podium instead of the last word, or why do you think Biden did that?
Well, so remember, he didn't want a podium initially. Some of the reports said that he wanted to sit down. He didn't want to stand.
Right.
And so he was kind of suckered into the CNN didn't go along with this. But the bar is set so low for the current president that he doesn't have to do much to win the debate. But if I'm Donald Trump, I'm staying in the pocket. It's just a great football analogy. He could throw the touchdown, but he shouldn't. Because it's like Donald Trump he's like in the NFL and Joe Biden is in high school. And if you stomp on him, you're going to look bad because everyone already expects you to stomp on him. So he just has to keep the ball right here. And the touchdown is there, but he doesn't throw it. He has to be merciful with the current president because the speed of which they go is not the same. There's no crowd, which is a great thing for Donald Trump because he's an entertainer. He plays into the crowd. He doesn't need to do that today. And with the mics being off, cut off when you're not speaking, this is going to allow the current president to really dig himself a hole. And that's great for Donald Trump. Stay on message. It is the economy. It is the border, which he has a record to run on. And it's peace through shreds. Remember, they accused him back in 2016 of going to use the nuclear codes on day one. Now we got wars breaking out everywhere, and Joe Biden is nowhere to be found. So this is a good time for him, but he has to stay in the pocket. Don't throw the touchdown.
So using this somewhat overused metaphor that you've created, but I'll play along with it, ha ha ha. Mr. Biden is going to stay in the huddle for the next 7 days. Actually, longer than that. About 7 days, 8 days. Do you think that's wise? Do you think he needs that? And by the way, do you expect Trump to be in preparation for the next week?
Well, the current president needs rest, right? He has to prepare for this. He has to do whatever strategies that they used before the State of the Union. They have to do the same thing all over again. Now, the question is, if he comes in jacked up on the debate, Donald Trump just got to let him go. And I know the former president, if he's challenged, he's going to meet you right there. But he just got to let him burn out because he's going to be out by the second round.
The B12 plus will wear off.
It's going to wear out.
It is 90 minutes.
It's not going to go too long. The current president, he doesn't need much prep. Okay, it is the policy, and he can thought. Remember, the current president uses note cards, but he doesn't write on the note cards. He uses the prompter, but he's not writing the speech on the prompter. The current president, I mean, you work for him, you know. You can give him all the advice you want.
Mean the former president.
The former president.
Yeah.
You can give him all the advice you want. He's going to say what he wants to say.
I know, I've learned
and
I learned that the hard way. I know, man. I hit about 265, that's my batting average. Every now and then you get something across. But it is interesting to me that they're putting Biden away for a week. Now, maybe they're going to rest him for a week, or maybe they're going to try to brief him, and maybe they're going to explain to him what his White House policies really are. He may not know. I mean, I don't know. Any of the above is at all possible. Do you see these numbers changing around? I was looking at some other numbers, though. The betting markets, right? You got to pay to play, all right? The betting markets are giving Trump right now a 20-point advantage in the presidential race. And also, Lawrence, I think almost all these polls of the swing states show Trump. It's almost Trump's to lose at this stage of the game. What you think?
It makes me nervous that it's that way because sometimes when the scoreboard is that way, some people don't show up to vote, okay? So that concerns me. But I can tell you why they're betting this way. When you look at the core demographics of the Democratic Party, people that typically voted for Democrats, they have essentially told the pollsters either they're going to cast their vote for Trump or they're going to stay at home. I mean, if you get Donald Trump that gets 30% of the black vote, that's game over. It's just never happened in modern time for a Republican. You got Hispanics that are breaking.
Do you see his numbers among women? I don't mean to interrupt.
Women as well.
I mean, I was just looking, it was up on Breitbart, but it was a New York Times Siena poll or survey, how Trump has gained with women. and how Biden is lost with women. It's extraordinary.
You know what it is? It is the grocery store.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of women are turned off by the Donald Trump bombastic approach, but when they weigh the bombast versus them going to the grocery store every week, they say, I'll take the bombast and get lower prices. And so, look, we saw this during the primary that the number one issue was the border, but as we're getting closer to the election, the number one issue is becoming the economy. And I think it's going to end that way. The election is going to be based on people's circumstance. When you talk to black voters today, and you go to the barbershop, you're going out there in the mall, you're talking with folks, they say, listen, life was just better under Donald Trump.
Yeah,
that's just what it is. I may disagree with him on some things. People are choosing the things that impact them on the day-to-day basis, and the White House has done themselves a disservice. I understand it's the White House press secretary job to be the chief spinner, but to deny the reality of people on the day-to-day basis, just not smart.
And you know, it's interesting. One of the ministers in the Detroit meeting said Obama and Biden never came to the neighborhood, to the hood, quote unquote.
They didn't.
And then Trump is actually the guy that's done that. He did it in the South Bronx. He's doing it in Detroit. My guess he's going to do it several more times. It may be symbolic, but I think it matters. I think people take notice of that.
I went to the Bronx rally. I've never seen so many, demographics at a Republican event. See, Biden thinks he can get away with what Obama did. Obama has something different. He had the charisma, but he also was a historic figure within the community. And although sometimes people disagreed with him, they voted for him because of historical reasons. Biden doesn't have that, and he doesn't have that relationship. And the one asset, as someone that's been in politics since I was 15 years old, the one thing we remember Joe from is being able to communicate with people out there. You have the quotes and everything. He's not out there. He can't do it. They got to shield him.
He's immobile.
So he has no connection with the people now.
I mean, I hated to see it. You couldn't even get into his SUV.
No.
And I didn't take pleasure out of that. I mean, you don't want to see that. It's an American president. And at some point in time,
you have China, Russia, and Iran on our heels.
We don't want those
We can't have a
pictures.
president this week, even if he's a part of a different party.
No, I'm on it. Lawrence Jones, terrific stuff. This is the first time you've been on this set.
Hopefully
I can't
you'll have me
believe
back. Did I meet the Kudlow standard?
Are you kidding? You threw the long bomb and you scored every time. I just loved it. Terrific stuff. Don't forget, you can catch Lawrence along with his co-host Steve Ducey, Brian Kilmeade, Ainsley Earhart on Fox and Friends, weekdays, 6 a.m. Eastern on Fox News. Of course, we'll have you back. Fabulous stuff.